Welcome to Vintage Variety. I have a thrift haul to show you guys today. These items came from a couple of different thrift stores, and I did have a viewer mention in the comments that they didn't like the fact that I show what I thrifted, but I don't tell the prices. So let me explain that at most of the thrift stores I go to, the prices really do vary. I've seen items hanging up as high as $6, and sometimes I run across items that are as low as $3 and occasionally $1. In the case, of course, the items are going to be a lot more expensive, and some of my thrift stores don't even carry jewelry anymore. I will tell you guys that the majority of these items came from one thrift store, and they were priced between $3 and $4. I've removed all the tags, so I can't tell you specifically, but just keep that in mind. The last items I'm going to show came from a different thrift store, and they were $4 each. And I will point that out when we get to those items, but I feel like I have a very decent haul. I did get a few modern pieces, some vintage, some very unusual ethnic style pieces, and I also managed to find some vintage sterling. So I'm going to get everything put to the side, sorted out, and I'll show you what I ended up thrifting one at a time. I'm going to start off by showing you guys a few bracelets that I thrifted. All of these are modern, and you guys know I like all eras of jewelry, vintage, antique, modern. If it's something I like, I usually pick it up. Now, I love this gold tone bangle. It has a very modernist design. It's textured, and I thought this would be a great piece for layering. I also picked up this bangle. It has tiny cabochons set into the outside of it. Also a very nice weight, so I don't feel like these pieces are overly cheap. They're not signed anywhere, probably just some modern costume jewelry brand, but I thought they were great pieces. You guys can let me know what you think of them in the comments. And of course, I picked up a stretch bracelet. If you watch my content, you know that often I'll pick up these stretch bracelets, mainly for the beads. I paid around $3 for this, and if I went and bought these beads, they would probably be a lot more expensive. So I can cut this bracelet up and repurpose the beads because I'm not a big fan of stretch bracelets. I thought the beads were beautiful. They have a moon glow look to them. I grouped these necklaces together because they really have an ethnic vibe. And I like ethnic jewelry, especially if I'm wanting to wear kind of like a boho look. I thought these were great. Two of them I'm pretty sure are vintage, and one of them has some very unusual beads on it that really drew my attention. I'm going to show you guys this one first. This is a very long necklace, and it's a combination of both plastic and glass beads. Now, I'm not sure if someone put this together or not. These are glass beads, and I think they're vintage by the looks of them. I also like the clear glass beads that are on this necklace. All of these beads are linked together rather than being strung. And just looking at it, I think that it probably is a vintage necklace. I don't see any kind of a closure on it or any markings. One of the beads here, this one, it looks as though it's been wire wrapped. And that's what made me think that maybe someone made this. There's no real way to know, but I did like this. I thought it was a very unique looking piece of jewelry. And you guys know I love layering pieces together, so this would make a great layering piece. I also liked this necklace. This is a combination of real stone and wooden beads. I'm not the best at identifying stones. These stone beads, they look to be maybe some type of carnelian. And then we have the beautiful polished wooden beads and gold tone spacers. I thought this necklace would be a great piece for layering. It also has an older barrel closure. Just looking at this, it does look a little loose. It probably could be restrung, but it seems to be holding up rather well, so I'll probably leave it as is. And then I spotted this very unusual looking necklace. The main reason I picked this up was because the materials are very unique. These orange colored beads, they're very lightweight. They feel like wood, but I'm not sure if they're made out of wood or maybe some kind of a nut. Very unique. This is strung on wire, and it has a much older barrel closure, just like the previous necklace that I showed you guys. The pieces you see here, these brown pieces, they're also very lightweight, and I have no clue as to what material this is. It does have the look of wood to it, almost the look of stone, but it's much too light to be stone. So if you guys have any idea, let me know in the comments. I would be curious to hear your thoughts on what this unique looking necklace is made out of. Here's a quick look at these 3 necklaces layered together on the necklace stand, and I have to say that I really like the way these look. Sometimes just changing up your jewelry, wearing something a little different, or layering different pieces together can give an old outfit a completely new style. This vintage necklace was a really good find. I say that because I don't often run across these pieces that are in such good condition. This one's made up of faceted black glass beads with tiny black seed bead spacers in between the beads, and they are also glass. This one isn't signed anywhere. It has a spring ring closure. And one thing I like about this is that it's a longer length. Usually when I run across this type of necklace, it's somewhat shorter, more of a princess length. In fact, I have quite a few in my personal jewelry collection. There are no broken or chipped beads on this, which is another plus because, as I've already said, often I'll run across these and they have a bead that's been broken off or that's badly chipped. Another glass beaded necklace that I found today was this one. Isn't this pretty? It's a combination of clear and black beads. This one's signed. This is a 1928 jewelry brand necklace. It does have a barrel closure on it. And I like 1928 jewelry. They make a lot of reproduction jewelry such as Victorian Revival. I've seen pieces that looked very Art Deco, and their jewelry is of really good quality. Here's a look at those 2 necklaces layered together on the necklace stand, and I think they make a great combination. I also think that it would look really pretty to layer these together and add a gold chain with them, because the 1928 necklace does have a little bit of gold in it. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Another really good find today was this Monet necklace. This one has its original tag on it, or cartouche. There's the marking on it. And it also has the Monet sister clasp. If you've watched my videos for quite some time, you know that I love Monet jewelry. I've been collecting it for many years. Before the company sold out, I feel like most of the jewelry that they made was of really good quality, and these pieces stand the test of time. I really like this necklace. I think it's a great necklace to wear during the summertime with the navy blue beads and the gold tone spacers. This could be combined with some red or white jewelry and it would look fabulous. I also found this beautiful ring. This is costume, of course. And I did look on the inside. I don't see any marks. It's not signed anywhere, but it's in excellent condition. I don't see any discoloration. And that's one thing that I run into a lot when I'm thrifting and I see rings. I'll look at them, and more often than not, they're really worn. The color's starting to come off of it, especially if they're costume. But this one is really nice. I think this is probably about a size 7. Because on the finger that I wear my wedding band on, I can wear a size 7. But just a beautiful ring. I thought it was too gorgeous not to pick up. I decided to thrift this dainty little necklace because it looks to be of a really good quality. I don't see any markings on it. It has a lobster claw closure. I love the rope style chain. And then it has this pendant with the pearl set into the center. Of course, I'm pretty sure this is costume. I will test it just to be sure, but it's really good quality costume. If I had to guess, I would say that this is probably from maybe the 1990s, because I feel like during that era, the 80s, the 90s, and earlier, that the costume jewelry was just really of better quality. And something like this is a great piece to wear when you don't want to put on a lot of jewelry. You just want to wear something simple and understated. Now I'm going to show you the items that I got at the other thrift store. I paid $4 each for these items. When I saw this pendant, I got really excited because my first thought was, oh wow, that's amber. Then I picked it up and I looked at it and I realized that it wasn't. This is faux amber. Despite it not being real amber, I decided to go ahead and purchase this because I liked the looks of this. I think this would be a great looking pendant to wear on a torque or something along those lines. Now that thrift store, they did have a jewelry case. They had a lot of more expensive items in the case, but I feel like I got pretty lucky because when I was looking at the jewelry that wasn't in the case, I spotted two items I believe they overlooked. These two bracelets were hanging up with the other costume jewelry. When I looked at them, they looked kind of tarnished to me, so I decided to take them off the jewelry rack and have a closer look. So one thing that I noticed about these, just looking at the outside of them, they looked very artisan. They looked as though maybe they had been handmade. And then I examined the inside, and immediately I noticed the 925 mark. What I also noticed is that there is another mark, one that I couldn't make out, and then they're also marked Mexico. So I got really excited about these bracelets. I thought, you know what, I may get them home and get them cleaned up. And that other mark that I couldn't make out, I thought, you know, it could be Tasco or something along those lines. As far as the design on the outside of the bracelet, these are identical. They have these little designs cut into them. It looks like maybe stars, moon, sunburst. I think they're absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my cleaning cloth, my jewelry polishing cloth, and remove some of the tarnish, and we're going to have a really good look at the inside and see what that marking is. Of course, I'm not going to get my hopes up, but you never know. Regardless, these were a steal for $4 a piece. I mean, they are vintage. So I want to give this a really good rub and see if I can get down in the lettering and make out what that says. It's still not coming in clear for me. You guys know my eyesight is just terrible, and I do wear glasses. Okay, so that just says sterling, but you know, I'm okay with that. So we have the, let me turn it around, the 925 mark, and then it says sterling here, and then Mexico. Well, for $4 a piece, I'm certainly not going to complain. These were hands down my best find of the day. And just from what little I rubbed with the polishing cloth, I can tell that these are just going to clean up beautifully. I know some people don't like to clean their sterling. They like the patina on it, especially if it's vintage like these bracelets. But I do like cleaning mine up and polishing it. So just a really great find. You guys let me know what you think of these in the comments. I think they're absolutely beautiful. Today's jewelry haul was a very good one. I found a lot of really great pieces, some unique pieces, signed pieces, vintage pieces, and most of all, those lovely sterling bracelets. You guys let me know what you think in the comments, and out of all the items I showed today, which ones were your favorites? If you enjoyed today's content, please remember to give me a thumbs up. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to share these items with me. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. Ring the bell for notifications, and you'll be notified anytime I upload new content. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.